Morning students. So this is the fourth part of the explanation video of chapter 5, separation of substances. Till now we have studied various methods of separation of substances, under which we had covered the separation of solids from solids as well as the separation of solids from liquids. So we were discussing the second one. Under this today we will move forward. So can you name the process that is used to obtain salt from water? You know that salt is made from the sea water. So, what is that process by which the salt is made by using the sea water? So, before listening to the answer, you have to think about it yourself. Practice of obtaining the salt from the sea water is called salt farming, and the process behind this is the evaporation. So about evaporation you have already studied before also in your earlier classes. So the process of formation of the water vapors out of the water, the turning of the water into water vapor, that is called evaporation. So what happens is that the sea water is firstly collected in shallow pits. Pits are the small hole type places, and these are shallow, means they are not deep. So the salt sea water is collected in the shallow pits. After that what happens, all the water from that shallow pits gets heated by the sunlight and it slowly turns into the water vapor through the process called evaporation. So after that the only remaining substance in those shallow pits is the salt. First of all, we have the sea water, which is the mixture of salt and water, and after the process of evaporation only salt remained there and all the water turned into the water vapor. So we can depict the process of evaporation as shown in this figure, in this picture. Due to the heat of the sun, all the water from the water bodies turn into the gases. The liquid turn into the gases through the process which is called evaporation. So all the water is that doesn't remain there, and for the salt formation only salt remains there. Now there is one thing on which the rate of evaporation depends. So the rate of evaporation is directly proportional to the temperature. Directly proportional means as the temperature increases, the rate of evaporation also increases. So that's why when the temperature of surroundings increases, the rate of evaporation also increases. So this was all about the evaporation. Now you must have observed the tiny droplets on the leaves of plants during early morning hours. During the winter season, you must have gone outside and you must have observed the tiny droplets on the leaves of plants, which you call the dew also. That is called the dew on the leaves. So have you ever thought of the reason behind this process? Why those tiny droplets appear at the morning time? So this appears due to a process in which the gas turns into the water, and the process is called condensation. So this happens due to the process of condensation. That's why we can define condensation as the formation of water from water vapors on cooling. That process is called condensation. Or you can define this as like this also, the conversion of water vapor into its liquid form. This process is called condensation. You must have seen whenever you take out the water bottle from the refrigerator. So after some time, when it comes in contact with the outer surrounding, when the water bottle like this, when it comes in contact with the outer surrounding, and we know that the temperature of outer surrounding is more than that in the refrigerator, and due to this those gases in the surrounding turn into water droplets because they come in contact with the cool water. When on cooling, those gases in the environment turn into the water droplets. It's not the water inside the bottle, if you must be thinking that it's not the water coming out from the bottle, it's the droplets are the gases from the outer surrounding, which when come in contact with the cold bottle from the refrigerator, they turn into the water state, in the liquid state, from the process of condensation. So this is all about the condensation. You have to understand the difference between evaporation and condensation very properly. Now I hope every one of you must be taking milk in the morning or at the night time. So many children, many of you must not like the cream in the milk, and you request your mom please take out the cream from the milk, and we don't want to have it. So there is a girl, Meena, she also dislikes the cream in the milk. So for that, to remove the cream from the milk, there is a process which is called churning. Through this process, what happens, that the cream from the milk separates out and only the liquid part of the milk remains. Thus, we can define churning as a process which is used for separating the lighter particles of solid suspended in the liquid. So in milk with liquid, there are some smaller particles also, some solid particles. Okay, milk not only have the liquid particle but the solid particles also, and if we want to remove those solid particles from the milk, we will have to go through a process which is known as churning. So to complete this process, there is an equipment which is called churner. Many of you must have this also at your home. So this equipment is called churner, and this is used to take out those solid suspended particles in the liquid out of that liquid which you are having. So as we had studied about evaporation and condensation, behind the process of churning also there is a specific process, and that is called centrifugation. Centrifugation. So this is the process which completes the method of churning. Now you can see in this picture, this is the process of making the butter out of the cream. So this process is used in our home by using either the hand or any equipment. The machine also comes for this process. Now in this video you can see the traditional method of forming the butter from the cream, or and after the formation of the butter, the liquid which remains behind, the remaining liquid, that is we call the buttermilk. Why buttermilk? Because that milk we have got after the separation of the solid particle, that is the butter. After the separation of the butter from that cream, only the liquid remains, and which is called the buttermilk.